had hearings back in '97 as well. And they're going to be tricky to find, but they really are hearings on Chinese interference with United States elections. The difference between these hearings on Trump and the hearings that happened 20 years ago on China tampering with campaign finance and affecting an election, and the one we're having right now, the only difference is coverage. I dare you to do a little research, because if you try to look up the Senate hearings on China's interference with our election, what you're going to find is that you have to look up 1996 campaign finance controversy. That doesn't say a whole lot. But to give you a little example of how big of a deal this was, in June of 1997, the DNC had to return $2.8 million in illegal campaign contributions that they received. 80% of those were raised by John Huang and a Charlie Tree. A lot of this money was found to be in connection with triads. Triads are Chinese gangs that they sell drugs. They're involved with the Chinese government, of course, too. But you know what triad money is that was taken for Bill Clinton's campaign? The DNC accepted and had to give it back. Triad money comes from sex slavery. And if you don't believe me, look it up. So the DNC was busted 20 years ago for taking illegal campaign contributions that came indirectly from sex slavery, but not so indirectly that you can't see the tie. And you can't even look it up on the internet properly, but our Senate intelligence hearings have been renamed by the Washington Post Senate's Russia hearings. So, in 1996, we had our United States campaign finance hearings. Okay? I want you to compare and contrast those to the hearings we're having right now and see what indiscrepancies you find in the reporting on the controversy and on the public's reaction. And please let me know if you think that this has been geared by our government to cover up the one and to bring the other with much less evidence into the light. I'm going to give you one final concrete piece of evidence that you can look up. But in March of 1997, the DNC was forced to return $37,500 in illegal campaign funds that were raised and so this guy gave them this money that the DNC accepted and would have never returned directly. This dude, I don't know how to say his name once again, Chen Ho-ya, was forced to they were forced to return this. This is among the $2.8 million they had to return in illegal campaign fees from triads, which remember is related to sex slavery. But specifically, this guy was connected directly to Chinese intelligence. That should bother everybody, I think, and it should bother us that the news is trying to tell us they cover up one thing like it never happened. In fact, it's really hard to look it up. While they take something small and they blow it completely out of proportion. I'm going to point out one last thing because of the sources of this money. A special agent, Harry Godfrey III. Now this is a direct quote from The Year of the Rat. It's a really good book. The following year, Special Agent Harry Godfrey III, Chief of FBI Counterintelligence, gave an extraordinary interview with the Los Angeles Times. First, he identified China as the most active foreign power engaged in the illegal acquisition of American technology. Then he made the following claim. We know they're running operations here. We've seen cases where they have encouraged people to apply to the CIA, FBI, Naval Investigative Services, and other defense agencies. They have also attempted to recruit people at our research facilities at Los Alamos and Lawrence Livermore. And they go on to say, now this is outside of his quote, for whatever reason, Mr. Godfrey's successors have not felt free to make such strong public comments on the intelligence threat posed by the People's Republic of China. Let me say that one more time. For whatever reason, Mr. Godfrey's successors have not felt free to make such a strong public comment on the intelligence threat posed by the People's Republic of China. Anybody out there tell me why our media's not talking about the threat from the People's Republic of China? That's what Steve Pachenik, I believe partially what he's referring to when he says that Kushner's compromised and it has to do with China. This stuff is very much still involved with the DNC. They just have to lay low with it now. And Kushner's involved with the Democrats. And there's obviously more to it. But if you can put the pieces together, there's a story here. I'll go more into this one later and go through a list of some of the illegal campaign stuff. I'm rereading this book, by the way, The Year of the Rat. Sorry, hold it this way. Reading it again because what I realized is that if Hillary Clinton had truly been defeated after the election, she would be running. She would be fleeing the country and hiding out. But she's not. Which means our job is not done yet. We're not done. Thanks for watching and have a good day or night.